Hello guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Welcome back to my channel, and today I wanted to share with you how you can make a heck ton of gil with just intermediates. Now, what exactly is an intermediate? Well, it's the mat that you craft, not the raw mat, but the mat that you craft to craft an endgame piece, whether it would be gear or food and that kind of thing. I'll go over a few things that I personally look out for, some things that you can look out for and apply to Endwalker, and a few examples that I found myself making a ton of gil from. But before we start, consider liking the video if you enjoy these kinds of videos, subscribe for more Final Fantasy content, and ring the bell for all future notifications for the channel. Thank you to everyone that supports me on Twitch, Discord, and YouTube. You all keep the channel going. And with that being said, let's begin. So what do I mean by intermediates? Well, the silver beech lumber, the solstice ingot, and the alkahest in the Exarchicane recipe is what I mean. So oftentimes the endgame gear is so heavily undercut, filled with a ton of people trying to sell because this is the endgame market. And since a whole lot of people started crafting in Shadowbringers, whether it be due to the firmament or just the raw influx of new people, it was extremely saturated, and the Exarchicane and a lot of other pieces were down to 50k gil for months. Now, I learned it the hard way. I sold these pieces at 50k while, unbeknownst to myself, the solstice ingot, the silver beech lumber, and the leathers were all selling for around 20k per each at HQ. So once I figured that out, I started only crafting the intermediates and made a whole lot of gil that way. It not only saved me time, but I could craft so much of them instead of these exarchic pieces because they were a little bit cheaper to craft as a whole. I didn't need to get any aether sand or use the slither sand for the elite sets. I just made the intermediate mats, sold them at HQ and normal quality so I could corner both markets and made a whole lot of gil that way. So this is perfect if your market is also saturated with endgame gear. This is a great way to endgame craft without having to deal with a whole lot of people, since not that many people know about it. Now, of course, since it is the end of the expansion, the market is definitely not the same anymore. It is an extreme empty period with people not really wanting to gear up, since a lot of the gear will just be null in the next month or so. But you can still take this ideology into Endwalker whenever the new gear pieces, whether that would be for a crafter or for the job gear. If your market is extremely saturated, then the intermediates is definitely the way to go. Now, it's not just endgame gear either. Every crafter has its own high-selling intermediates, whether it be from the current expansion or even stuff from A Realm Reborn. So the next section we'll go over is some of the best intermediates that do not require a level 80 to craft, but sell for a heck of a lot and pretty well. And first is the Kiramu leather, the High Allegan Chimera leather, and finally the Allegan leather. For carpenter, it is the treated spruce lumber and the treated camperwood lumber. And finally, alchemist has some of the best intermediates for being under level 80, although a lot of these things sell quite slowly, but they do get sold for quite a bit. So the first example is the Hawk's Eye Sand. This is sold quite slowly, but when it does, you can make an absolute heck ton of gil because nobody really knows about it, and it is needed for a lot of level 70 crafting and gathering gear. Same thing with the veteran tree sap. Then the luminous fiber. This sells a lot better and also for quite a bit, and the mats are extremely cheap. And in general, a lot of the alchemist glues sell for quite a lot and very often, as well as a lot of the growth formulas. So that was a quick video on how you can start making gil with intermediates now, or making gil with intermediates whenever the next set of job and crafting gear come out in Endwalker. This is something that I kind of learned the hard way after getting so frustrated with the exarchic gear that I ended up just giving them away in Limsa, which honestly, I should have just sold the intermediates, and I eventually did learn that, but I hope I can give you a chance to learn without having to waste a whole lot of gil and time like I did. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I stream on Twitch every Monday and Friday, GMT +3. So if you want to come hang out, I hope to see you there. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want to. And I'll see you in my next video. Goodbye.